What is going on there, gamers, gameheads, kings and queens, everybody in between? It's your boy QYZ, and you already know what time it is. Welcome to the Clout.WAV podcast, where we give you weekly updates on how Clout is the new crack, and it's the hard white. But that being said, it's not just a show that I'm running on my own. We have an illustrious co-host here, one whose, well, name is synonymous with perfection. We got Subtle Fraudulence. How you doing, bud?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Besides the purple screen of death hitting me on Twitch every time I try to watch something, I'm doing okay.
So for those of you who don't know, the way Twitch is trying to recoup losses on ad revenue is by putting this purple screen of death, which is a message that pops up and basically just says, "Hey, you're watching this on a place that's not twitch.tv. Go fuck yourself for several minutes as we just abruptly bring an abrupt halt to your regularly scheduled programming. But if you watch on twitch.tv, this pesky purple box will go away." Or so you thought. You see, if you even have an ad block extension on your browser, even though it may have been whitelisted for Twitch and allowing Twitch ads to come through, every so often, 5, 10, 15, or some random interval of time, you will still get the purple screen of death that says, well, if you're on Twitch and you're still seeing this message, turn off your ad block. Even if you already have it turned off, it's basically Twitch just saying, yeah, we don't give a fuck, give us more money, yada, 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 so on and so forth. And it's getting to a point now to where I could see this being one of those straws that breaks the, metaphorical camel's back here and pushes people to just be like, fuck it, I'll just catch VODs later on, or I'll just go ahead and watch on YouTube. And the thing I want to know is, does this affect VODs? Like, if you watch VODs on Twitch, will the purple screen of death still show up? That is something I think that needs testing, but all in all, it's a stupid ass decision. It's a stupid ass thing that they even decided that they were going to try to push along. Like I don't understand how their frontal lobe would come to the conclusion of this is a good idea.
It's
But
a mistake,
but
and they're
speak,
making several mistakes.
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And speaking of one of those mistakes, I don't know if you guys know this, but Twitch is deciding to get rid of redundant categories on the platform. Now you may be saying, okay, Twitch getting rid of things that are redundant. What does Twitch think is redundant? Like, this is Twitch we're talking about. If there's anything that is keeping this platform alive, it's redundancy. So why would they get rid of it? Well, they're getting redundant titles out of the games list. So what does that mean? That means if you wanted to stream Yakuza Kiwami or something like that, you have to, only click Yakuza 1, 2, 0, the main numbered games. Like, some of the spin-offs are now just no longer available for you to list. Or you're going to have to go into the retro category for some of the older games that aren't really super popular. Now, this may not affect many games, but fighting games are heavily affected because, as we know, we have games that have different versions, such as Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. That category got Alt F4'd, deleted, hard wiped, destroyed. Thanos snapped into oblivion, and the only thing that is left is the vanilla Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Now, you may be saying that may not be such of a big deal, but many of the people who were following the category of Marvel vs. Capcom 3 were following Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So you would get notifications of streams that you may not have necessarily followed, but are playing that game, which help foster growth, a sense of community, a sense of, building relationships amongst your peers. But now, since, the bigger category is fallen off, they didn't even have the wherewithal to funnel those in that one category they deleted into the now only category, vanilla Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And without that, level of differentiation right there, like, you can't defer, you have an issue of, if someone wanted to have a throwback night and play the original Marvel vs. Capcom 3 to show off some glitches or some tech, and since most people are playing online via Parsec now, this is a thing that you can do. You can have tournaments for vanilla, just see how wacky, crazy, and stupid that game was. But now you can't really differentiate between one and the other, which is a problem. Now, you may be saying, why am I bringing up Marvel vs. Capcom 3? You weren't much of a Marvel vs. Capcom 3 guy. Why has this hurt you so much? Well, recently, Twitch Rivals collabed with Maximilian and various other people to bring you an invitational tournament for aforementioned Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And it was a hit. People watched it. People loved it. People love seeing the Sentinel 1v3 comebacks. That shit was fucking wild. But you would think if they just held a Twitch sponsored event, somebody somewhere would have said, maybe we should get rid of vanilla, not ultimate, if one had to go, if at all. I don't know what your thoughts on this, because you're the Marvel player. Like, does this not seem weird to you?
It's extremely weird, and they're also doing it with Street Fighter 4, where you're seeing vanilla Street Fighter 4, vanilla Street Fighter 4 versus Ultra Street Fighter 4. So, like, I don't know, maybe they have a thing with use, but Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is the more popular of the two, and it's the game that's active right now, and everyone and their mom knows that that's the active one right now. You don't really hear people talking about Marvel versus Capcom 3 vanilla, because that's just not the game that anyone has talked about for almost 10 years.
And the main reason is it only lasted 7 months. Some of y'all forget Marvel
Right.
vs. Capcom 3 vanilla was such a shit show. Capcom, within 7 months, put another version of the game in your hands.
Right.
And when I say 7, I'm not saying 7 months later they announced they were working on. I mean 7 months later, you could literally buy and install the new one. Which does not make much sense. It didn't make much sense a decade ago. Makes
Hey,
even
man.
less sense now. But for you to remove a category of an event that you just ran less than a month ago, that was a slam dunk hit, why would you tell a fan base that you literally just captivated? You just finally begin to earn some of the FGC's trust, Twitch, and then here you are putting the middle finger out there and like sit and spin. Like, it's not.
Hey, man,
I
there
don't.
was a there was a tsunami that hit Japan, and that's why Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came out, because originally it was supposed to be vanilla with all of the DLC as the characters that were added to Ultimate, plus, whatever other features were added, like, I don't know, spectator mode in online. But hey, maybe Twitch got hit with some sort of tsunami, and that's why they decided that older versions of a video game series should outlast newer versions, or at least in fighting games
Wait.
aspect, because
So what you're telling me is Bezos stepped down because he had foresight that this tsunami was gonna wipe out Amazon HQ. That's crazy, bro.
now we're on to something
Nah,
here.
that's just get the tinfoil hats out, ladies and gentlemen. Holy shit. Bezos is a psychic the entire fucking time.
Oddly enough, they did recognize that, every Smash game is its own game. So every Smash game is still there. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is still there. Marvel vs. Capcom 1 is still there. And so is Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. RE2 has been replaced with RE2 Remake.
Yeah, so if you're running a vanilla, like if you're a speedrunner running the vanilla Resident Evil 2, or you're just someone who decided, I'm gonna go play the old Resident Evil 2 and just see if it holds up, you have to put it under the Resident Evil 2 remake category, because the Resident Evil 2 category is now defunct. Which, here's the thing. Was it taking up bandwidth? Like, I'm just confused. Like, was the list that you compiled of games taking up bandwidth? Like, I'm just confused. Did you hit a max number of games now? Like, could you not expand the list? Like, I'm just trying to figure some of these things out, because it doesn't make not a lick of sense. Not an iota. Like, am I wrong here? Like, you'll talk to me.
I don't know, honestly. Like, it seems like that's the case. That seems like the reason why they're doing it. Like, for whatever reason, they've got some giant archive of all these video games that they've put on their directory, and they're like, let's clean out some of the ones that people aren't using. And then they cleaned out the ones that people are definitely using, because no one referred to, I don't know, their own numbers for their own like website where they could say, hey, there's still like 20,000 people who stream this this video game a month. We should probably leave this one alone. And this other version that has had, I don't know, maybe 200 people stream it in a month, maybe we should get rid of that version, because that seems to be the one that people don't use as much. Like,
Like they just had a mass exodus of titles, but I'm like sitting here like, what about these like really random, super omega obscure fan games that no one talks about?
what about Tomb Raider?
Like these are questions we have to ask. Like it's getting to a point now where Twitch is they think they're finding solutions to problems, but they're just making problems to compound with problems that shouldn't have even been problems in the first fucking place.
Exactly. Like the who was complaining, "Oh man, this list is just so long. I have to type in it to find the game that I'm looking for." It's like it's a lot better than, being on Restream and when saying, "Hey, yeah, I'm streaming to Facebook." And then it's like, "Hey, are you playing Call of Duty? Are you playing Fortnite? Are you playing Apex Legends?" All right, well, we don't know what game you're playing if you're not playing those games. So, sorry.
But here's the thing though, like I know it seems like we just shit on Twitch every week, but it feels like every week Twitch does something new where it's cause to shit on them. Like you think we want to just completely go after Twitch every week? You think we don't have more shit that we would like to talk about and get off of our chest? But somehow Twitch just loves to find a way every single week to dive in front of a bullet like it's bullet time and Max Payne and says, "No, take me instead." We don't want to do this, Twitch, but you're
You
leaving
don't.
us no choice because
You sure
we want
are.
this platform to be great. So we can continue using this platform to be great, but you won't let us be great, so we can't let you be great. But that's a whole different discussion for a whole different day. There's a whole diatribe we could get into about that. But speaking of just absolutely WTF effery at this point, have y'all heard about Avatar and how Nickelodeon has decided that they're going to push Avatar Studios, which is going to be a division ran by the Last Airbender's creators, to make a new animated series and a new live action set of series and movies about the world of Avatar? So basically, welcome to the Avatar Cinematic Extended Universe, because everything needs an extended universe these days. Now, they said the first project they're going to be working with is an animated theatrical film, which it's always weird to see somebody starting with a theatrical film under the assertion that, or under the assumption that COVID is just going to get Thanos snapped within the next 5 to 6 months. I'm feeling early 2022 is when we're going to finally hit our stride back to normal. But we'll put a pin on that for a little bit. But a division ran by Last Airbender's creators is going to be making new series, which is good. That's great content. But speaking of which, Engadget decided that they wanted to be first as opposed to accurate with their reporting on this subject. So they posted a tweet where they were like, "Hey guys, we're breaking the news about Avatar getting all types of new series." But the picture that they used was of Dalsum from Street Fighter.
Of a cosplayer and their face as they were dressed up as Dhalsim from Street Fighter.
And
Isn't that crazy?
and apparently Dalsum, because he's bald and has tribal markings, is just Aang, who's also bald with tribal markings.
Except the version of Aang that would be accurate for uh, uh that picture or that depiction would be older Aang, who has a beard. There's a very, very distinct beard.
Look,
And
if you're gonna be a news site, can you at least like proofread the shit that you're about to like let rock?
can you at least Google what you're talking about?
Like just for a little bit, because like there's no way that picture file that you had wasn't named Dalsum. There's no way. Like there's just no
Mhm.
way. Street Fighter is iconic enough to where you should know that's not Aang. Like you should know that. Like they're both individually popular enough to where you should just know. Like if someone's announcing a new Halo game and then you post a picture of fucking Doom guy, like hey, come on, you can't do that. We should be able to hound your ass, circle the wagons, pick up our pitchforks, and tell you, "I'm tired of seeing you idiots be in positions of being paid to type this dumb shit. I'm tired of seeing you stupid people type things and being paid for it. Give that job to someone who, oh, I don't know, actually, what's the word? Ah, yes, plays the video games." Because I'm more and more getting convinced that y'all are hiring some of these people on Fiverr to be your writers. And they're like, video games are popular. I guess I can write about that. And they just throw things around.
Or give the job to a robot that can Google.
I mean, hey,
I'm fine with that at
hey,
this point.
bots can Google these days. The
Yeah, they sure
technology
can.
is definitely there. Like, I never thought I would be asking for bots to be taking people's jobs, but some of these journalists, yeah, they should probably lose their job to a bot. But I'm not here to take anybody's money off the table during a pandemic.
It's real hard out there to write these articles, man. I mean, they announced a cinematic universe, and now I've got to like make an announcement about the cinematic universe. I don't know the first thing about Avatar. Why did this come on my desk? Where could I go to find out information about Avatar, The Last Airbender, or the series to write an article that's competent enough to say, "Hey guys, it's coming."
Hey, they could have put a picture of the blue Navi. Then where would we be?
At least that would be funny, and like you could pass that off as a joke, like, "Hey guys, I was doing it on purpose." Hmm. Hmm.
I was doing it
Like,
on purpose the entire time. Oh.
because that movie is getting a sequel, and it might be a part of some sort of universe too. You never know.
So you're saying it's like that Jezebel article that was like, "Hey guys, yeah, Chun Li. Why isn't she in the Mortal Kombat movie? Right?
She's
Right?"
busy. She's busy pulling out the strap in Fortnite.
And I'm telling you, bro, she's trying to get the OTG Oki with the good old fashioned shotgun, bro. Like you seen it. By the way, I didn't want to have to tell you this. I'm sure you already know. Why does Chun Li look so much better in Fortnite than she ever did in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite? Like, talk to me, bro. Like, are you okay?
Money, money. Money is the answer. Money. You see, if they gave that money to Capcom, boy, oh boy, she would have looked better. But Capcom didn't have the ability to do such things. They were too busy making that good old season 5 for Street Fighter 5, and making they put all the money into the RE engine. You see,
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'll definitely give you that. But yo, the Devil May Cry, like that man was getting a new game. That man was getting DMC5, and y'all made him look like he just got out of a crack binge. Like it wasn't.
exactly
You,
right.
you know,
And
let,
but
let's just stop talking about
no,
Infinite.
no,
That
no.
was
Let's put
just
this in context, though. Let's put this
okay.
in context. What really happened?
Hmm.
Here's
Hmm.
the conspiracy theory that has so much weight here. What really happened was they made the model based off of a Dante, or the Donkey, or whatever these guys call that new Dante from that one DMC game that we all just don't know about anymore. That guy, the guy with the black hair, the guy who was a little bit edgy. He was what do they call him? A Nephilim. That guy was definitely the basis for the model. And that's why he's got a actual costume in the game that you can put on. And then once you put that costume on and you see that character, you're like, yeah, this fits. This is exactly what they wanted. But then they realized, no, 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 people would hate this game even more. So we're just going to take our classic nostalgia costume that we made for this model, and we're just
And
going
we
to
make
make
that
that
the
the main
base
costume.
costume. Okay.
Yep. It's just like Ryu and the beard in Street Fighter 5. It's like, no, no, no. People don't want change. We're going to make the classic Ryu costume the main one, and then they're going to have to pay for our redesign of Ryu in the Street Fighter 5 timeline. And then they changed a bunch of characters going forward, and people were like, man,
But
this is really cool.
But here's the thing that's really weird to me, and I could be wrong because we got to remember I played the early first 2 seasons of Street Fighter Five, so I didn't really get to enjoy when they finally implemented the story mode or wall of text mode that they kind of decided to implement into the game. But do these characters even in story wear the costumes that are their quote unquote story costumes, or is story costume just some shit they just said fuck it? They would probably wear this in casual day to day life.
Well, in okay. So in the story mode that was added to the game later, they don't wear any of those fucking costumes. But in the character's story arc, the 4 stage, 4 panel artwork montage
Hmm.
that they get, they wear the costumes in that mode because I don't know, timeline wise, it's canon for them to wear those costumes, and then after you beat that mode, you get the option to just put on a different costume.
Huh. I mean, at least that's something.
Yeah, I don't know. They're supposed to be canon towards whatever the heck those like story arcs are supposed to be about, but those story arcs usually aren't really about anything like
But
interesting.
some of them are written like non events. Like it was like, so I
Yes,
went shopping today, and oh god, there's Birdie, and then I went home. That's
exactly.
my arc. Woohoo!
Or here's this like one panel of Cammy wearing her official British military uniform.
The Interpol outfit.
Yeah. No, Chun Li is the one that's in Interpol. She's just the British police force. I forget. It wasn't MI6, but it was like it was something else that was just like a made up name because she lived in England and she was a police officer.
Look, at this point, it's just it is what it is type thing. But you know,
I mean, Lucia's story costume is her being a cop.
yeah. But at least that one makes sense because you know you've played Final Fight.
Yeah, there are a lot of cops in in Street Fighter.
Yeah, you're
Like,
not wrong. The police are here in full force, might I add. And speaking of police being in full force, so have you heard about the Daniel Prude situation that's been going on out there with the spit bag and everything?
oh, oh boy. So this is a story that hit the internet around the time this event actually happened, and people were of course upset that, you know, this man who clearly had like mental health issues was having a mental breakdown in public, and the police were called because, you know, that's usually what people do when they want to help someone or they see that someone is in danger, not just from other people, but like, you know, they're in danger, like they're in danger of hurting themselves. You know, they say the police will help this man, and then the police showed up, and this man, of course, was having a psychotic breakdown, which everyone could see because he was half naked in the middle of the freaking street, and they tackled him.
And he was saying things like, "Come get some of this dick."
Right.
Like he
You
was
know,
definitely saying some wild, out of pocket things to these people. But continue.
at the very least, people would like cops would assume this man is on drugs, and they would be like, "Oh, he might be hopped up on, you know, like heroin or something. So we've got to like take him down carefully, you know." But nah, they weren't careful. They tackled this man. They you know tackled him. They shackled him. They put him on the ground, and uh, for fear of his saliva, they put a bag on his head, which I don't know what protocol you're going through, but like putting a bag over someone's head
Well, here's
like
the
that,
thing.
putting a plastic bag over
Here's the
someone's
thing.
head.
They're called spit bags, and I do believe they're like some semi ventilated like nylon, right? Which is supposed to be breathable, but if someone's in a fucking panic and you put a bag over their head,
Yeah,
I'm not seeing like good results coming from this. Like if someone's in a panic and they're already like accelerated heart rate and like they're flipping out and you already have them like confined and shackled, I don't think a spit bag is necessarily necessary. Just do the simple fact that like you know where their head's facing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there are some times where people have seizures. You're not gonna put a fucking spit bag on them just so you don't get their fucking saliva on you.
right. Let me put it this way: I've seen several videos of like encounters that the police have had with literal crackheads who are like losing their minds. Crackheads who may be armed, some who may not be armed. For some reason, they get treated pretty much the same. I've never seen this spit bag put into play on those people when they are clearly like out of their minds, and it's very obvious that they've like, you know, got like lesions on them and stuff that, you know, indicates that they are on hard drugs. This man didn't indicate that he was on hard drugs, but he did indicate that he was losing his mind, and they just put a bag over his head and like plopped him in the middle of the
Like
street.
here's the
Like,
thing. I'm assuming it's such a rare thing because it's obviously used at officers' discretion. But
right.
most officers probably realize probably putting a bag on someone who's in a disillusioned state right now probably isn't the best way to go about things, especially when, you know, like you clearly had them restrained in a way where you had them. You
Yeah.
had him. It's not like he
Like,
was running around being a danger to society or other people. You clearly already had him in a restrained state. I just
Exactly.
feel like
Like
the
there's no
bag is hella unnecessary at this point.
on top of that, what were they fearing from this man? Like, was he gonna like spit like acid on them? Did they
What
think
is he,
he had some
reptile?
diseases or something? Yeah, exactly. Like, what was like if he spit on the like if he spit at them, they would be able to like get away from him. They like literally were in a position where they could just stand behind him and they would be fine because he was handcuffed. He didn't even have a way to turn around himself, so there's not really a way for him to like spit on them if they were like afraid of that. So that I don't know, that line of like reasoning makes no sense to me. And yeah, so that man died, and all of the officers who are involved in that situation are not getting arrested. They're not like they're getting off. So wow. Yeah, we recently, have gotten uh the verdict that the officers are receiving no charges for this. None whatsoever.
Yeah, but you got to understand that was the expected result. I mean, we've seen officers just shoot people regardless of race, black, white, doesn't matter. We've seen them
Right.
just open fire on people who did not deserve to have fire rained upon them, and then they get a paid vacation out of it. You know, that suspension with pay. And,
Okay.
and then they just sit there, waltz right back in the office a couple weeks later, like it never even happened to begin with. We've seen this
according
throughout
to
history.
according to Wikipedia, he this man allegedly like ingested PCP, and that's why he was having the like mental episode in the first place. So this man was high on PCP, and they killed him, and they're getting no charges for this. Probably because this was a man in Rochester, New York, who asphyxiated, and he was on PCP. So they're like, oh well, the drugs killed
It
him.
wasn't the
That
bag; it
kind of
was the
nonsense.
PCP. And
Yeah, it
while
had to
I
be the
agree,
PCP.
and while I will say this, I will give you some leniency here in saying yes, the PCP definitely probably had adverse effects and definitely was not going to help the situation. But the bag sure didn't help the situation either.
Exactly.
Like I understand that serve and protect is a tough badge of honor to wear, but I feel like we're giving out this badge to just about anybody who signs up for the job, rather than a tough vetting process to weed out some of the weaker folk. Some of these folks with badges are pussy, bitch made, undeserving of such responsibilities.
Right.
Because at the first sight of even the slightest bit of friction, they're just off their rocker. They just don't know what the fuck to do. They're just like, yeah, excessive force, or put a bag on his head. That'll do the trick. And it's like, how about you call the fucking ambulance,
Right.
paramedics, get them on the scene.
Admit you don't know what to do. Like just like it's okay to admit that you don't know what to do. It's okay to admit that you're not sure what your next course of action should be in these situations. Like guys, it's okay to admit that you're wrong and then figure out how to be right. And the problem with a lot of these situations is that these dudes either they they try to give this like argument of like, well, I wasn't really sure what to do, so I just reacted. And it's like that's not really what your training is supposed to like teach you anyways.
Well, that's the thing. Like some of the all right. So I don't know if you know this, but to like get a lot of industry jobs, right? You need to have 4 to 6 years worth of collegiate fucking teaching, right? You need to have a
Yeah.
degree. You need to be certified. Did you know you can be certified to be a cop within 6 to 8 months?
Yeah, because you go to the school where they teach you all the things you need to become a officer.
Yeah, but they have like a courses done quick, a CDQ, so to speak,
Oof. Oof.
type of curriculum where they're not going to teach you nuance. They're just going to give you, the everyday spiggity spiel on, the like basically keep everything on a level 1 perspective, and that's about it. Like, you don't think that's weird?
It's super weird. That shouldn't be the case because well, one, there should be someone like in this organization who can see that, this is a person who got their certification through this, courses done quick, type of like
Hmm.
scenario, and then say you need further training before you can go out in these like more difficult situations. You can do regular, you can go like, I don't know, give someone a traffic ticket for whatever. Sometimes they can go out on these traffic stops and not cause problems. Some traffic stops unfortunately get very, very like bad because people don't know what to do in pressure situations, and so they should get the training to understand what to do in a like high pressure situation. If somebody's like cursing at you, you just because you're a cop doesn't mean you can be like, oh, he's cursing at me, all right, now not only am I arresting you, I'm pulling out my gun now, I don't feel safe. It's like, no, 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 no. You have more power over this person always, and they understand that, or they don't understand it, whatever. And they're allowed to be frustrated without you like murdering them or injuring them. Like you should have the skills to be like to understand that some people are like that, and that you are the one who is responsible for taking care of the situation in the least destructive way possible, because that person is trying to take care of the situation in the most destructive way possible, more
Like,
than likely.
I feel like some of these cops have lost the art of de-escalation because, like,
Right.
I mean, look, you hear about it all the time. One of my family members was a police officer, and they used to do this thing where, I don't want to use fucking cinema lingo, but they had a beat, they had a route.
Right.
They knew people in the community because they took that route. They were a familiar face. They weren't just like Johnny Rando Doodad just popping in there. Like they knew how a lot of the neighborhood worked, and they knew how to talk to certain people.
That's one of the problems, actually. You have cops who are taking care of jurisdictions that they don't live in, and they don't know, like, they don't live near. So they don't know anybody who's there. Nobody knows them. This is just like a stranger who just showed up with a gun and a badge who's just like, yeah, I'm going to take care of this domestic violence situation the way I see fit now. I'm
And some
just
of, and
like,
some of these people who may not know the area or any of the situations, that come with the territory, might have some preconceived notions of what this community is. Like, oh, I'm going to the ghetto. All right, I already know what's up. I already know what's up without asking any sort of questions.
look, if the people in the community, like, have like some sort of connection to this person. Like they know who they are. They've at least like seen this person in passing, and that's the cop that comes to their home. They're less likely to like lose their mind or cause like a very like destructive situation, and the cop is less likely to feel pressured to like pull out his gun or do something drastic to like, get control of the situation, because he's like, well, I know this guy. He's going through a hard time right now. Or I know this girl. She's like yelling at me and whatnot, but she doesn't really mean it. She's just really, really heated, and like she just needs to cool off. That sort of thing. But if this is a stranger walking in here who's just going based off of I don't know, racist tweets that they see, or some shitty video from like 1970 that's like, these people would be more aggressive in this situation, then they're most likely going to be like, well, the video told me this, so I've got to do what I can to stop you right now. And it's like, at the
That
end of the day, these are people.
that's why I can't necessarily
So
agree with the all cops are bad mentality because I mean we've seen plenty of videos of them like playing basketball at the rec center with the community, having police community efforts, whether it's like doing a picnic, doing, a job fair, or, just basic shit in the community. We've seen people have videos where the officer does everything possible to make sure the situation goes swimmingly, where they don't want to make it in any sort of excessive force. Hell, they don't even want to make an arrest. They just want you to follow a simple protocol. They get the shit done and everybody can move on with their fucking lives. There are some districts where you don't have them just gunning down folks for no fucking reason.
see, the thing about the like all cops are bad mentality is that it comes from the idea that the organization as a whole is bad, so anyone involved is bad, because the idea is that anyone who tries to be good gets in like an not Eric, a Chris Dorner situation where it's like I'm seeing the bad things and I'm calling it out. You guys need to like shape up or whatever, and then that person gets like ridiculed. They get like the worst experience at their job. They don't get protected. All this other
Oh,
stuff,
I'm well
and
aware. I'm well aware.
then they lose their mind.
I'm not saying that it doesn't happen,
Right,
but those people are being thrown under the bus by their own people. We shouldn't have to
right.
also then throw them under the bus. Because if we extend this logic, given how the presidency has been over the past couple election cycles and how we have literal fucking crackheads in public office, at this point, you might as well say, yes, I understand. Americans are bad. All Americans are bad because you see the shit that we have in there, from the Marjorie Taylor Greens to the Donald Trumps to the people who
Oh,
are
yeah.
like, if you support Bernie Sanders, you do cocaine. Like, hell, we even have mayors who admitted that they did hard drugs, and then they won re-election.
Yeah, and then you have like mayors or governors who admitted to doing very, very questionable things around children, and they almost won in their districts because the district is
Nah,
like,
if
no, it's just a misunderstanding. It was like,
a misunderstanding, eh? A misunderstanding, eh?
yeah, right. But like, so that's what fuels the whole like idea of like defund the police and like, oh, don't send the police to, you know, situations like this. Send someone, send like a psychologist or someone who's trained in dealing with like mental patients. And like the argument against that is always, how are they going to protect themselves or whatever? What are they going to do when it gets more aggressive? And it's like, you could just send those people to advise the cops, so that, you know, you have someone there who's like, hey, maybe don't put a bag over his head. That's just going to make it worse. Hey, he's very irate right now. You're scaring him. Like, shit, man. Well, we had what shows like Steve Irwin's show where he goes out and he sees like wild animals and shit like that. He's like, look, guys, it's more afraid of us than we are of it. So we need to come in slowly. We can't come in with a threatening aura, you know, all this shit, right? But somehow somebody who's like,
When it comes to human interaction, it's just like, no, hey, this is what you're gonna do, and like it's always weird to me. And I'm not speaking about this situation in particular here, but like it'll be like a guy doing like remedial or very low level quote unquote criminal activity, like
right,
selling cigarettes without a license, or or assuming no license without a permit, or just so happens to be jaywalking, and then like four cops got to show up, like dead ass. Like you need a small militia to handle this one part. Like I'm just trying to figure some things out here.
he's a big man. We don't know what he's gonna do. He might hurt us.
That doesn't even make a lick of sense. And you know what? You know,
Exactly.
you know what? You're right. You're right. Things don't make a lick of sense.
Look, if they're going to be civil servants that who are going to try and, you know, protect people, then they need to be trained to understand how people work and understand how different, like, how different personalities work, how different people work and different respond to different situations, so that they understand, like, you shouldn't just be aggressive and then expect everyone to just like submit automatically. Some people are going to like revolt against that, and that could get ugly, but the power is on you to make it like super duper ugly, or just, you know, if someone's getting out of hand, they seem like they might hurt you, hurt someone else. Okay, back up. You know, there's another cop car behind you. There's some people there. Okay, this guy's seeming a little wild. Okay, now is a situation where it's like, okay, we're all here, and we've got like, I don't know, like a shield or something. We've got something that will make it so that this dude doesn't escape and go like hurt some other people or whatever. But the focus is to subdue him, not fucking kill him, because it's like shit. He might kill me, and it's like, that's not.
Because I mean, if you just
It's
look at, because look, like we're just gonna leave it at this. All right, people who don't understand what the fuck to do in a very simple and basic situation should not be walking around with a badge in order to have power over other people at any point, at any time.
right.
That's just the simple meat and potatoes of it. But as I
Too
was saying
complicated.
about politics earlier, what
Mhm.
here in Georgia, we have some dude named Tyrone Brooks. I don't know if you remember him, Democrat, state representative, convicted of tax fraud. My man was just out here doing tax fraud, but out here also doing doublespeak, telling us, do your taxes, do your taxes, do your taxes. Meanwhile, up in Illinois, what was his name? What was the Republican dude? God, he had a stupid ass. It was Ron something, but like he got arrested for repeated drug abuse and a DUI. Out here running for office as a representative.
Hmm.
Like you can't be doing this. And like, hold on. Okay, I found a list. From 2010 to present, I don't think there's a single state on here that does not have at least 2 arrests on a representative, an ambassador, or some sort of public office, or, at Capitol Hill type job that was arrested for something. Pick a state right now. We'll just do 2 for fun. Pick one at random.
All right, Texas.
All right, let me scroll down here to Texas. So in 2017, State Representative Carlos Uresti was convicted of fraud and money laundering in 2017.
Oh,
City Councilor of Dallas, Carolyn Davis, was convicted of bribery in 2019. Both being Democrats. See, Democrats aren't all they're cracked up to be. But go on. What's next? Give me another state. We'll do another one for fun.
Let's go for California.
California? Oh, man. You really wanted to go for the Democrat state. You really wanted to punch them in the throat. All right.
Well, I didn't expect Texas to have like the Democrats that would be in this example.
All right, so state senator and state assemblyman Ron Calderon and what I believe is his fucking brother, Tom Calderon, were convicted of money laundering together. Both Democrats, by the way. Just to let you point that out.
All right, let's cap it off with Georgia.
Georgia. So we had Mr. Tyrone. And then we had the mayor of Atlanta, Bill Campbell, convicted of tax evasion way back in 2006. I don't know if you remember that. But those are the only 2 that we have listed. Doesn't mean there's not more. Those are the only 2 that we have listed thus far.
Thus far.
Yo, but Illinois got it bad, bro. They got Republicans, they got Democrats, they got everybody out here getting buck wild. Dude was sentenced to 19 years and 7 months in prison for fraud, having embezzled $53 million.
Well,
and people vote for these people to give them more power. But you know what? That's neither here nor is it there. Because
hey man, he was able to embezzle that money, so he must know how to make more money for us and make us all successful, right?
And that is what has brought the worst slogan in politics history. If I hear it one more time, my head might just explode. I might just spontaneously combust. My ass just might fall off one cheek at a fucking time. If I have to hear one more politician get on television and say the following words: I'm not a politician. I'm a businessman or woman. That means you're not wearing the suit for the job that you want. People keep saying, we want to take our country back from big business by putting big business in the, you know what? I just don't understand it. We're going to take back the White House from big business. It's like, but you are big business. You literally are big business.
But you see, we've got to run the White House like a business so that we can make all the money and then we can also become rich.
I mean, there's this whole thing about the stock market that's going ham right now. And then someone tried to literally just usurp their way into the fucking Georgia, into Georgia electionship under the Kelly Loeffler. I'm not a politician. I'm a businesswoman. Meanwhile, the dick that she slurps on runs the fuck. You know what? I'm not even gonna go there.
By the way, so the people are aware when this comes up in like, I don't know, a couple of more months from now.
Hmm.
Uh Kelly Loeffler and other state Republicans are trying to bring back those voter registration laws, so that there's a voter ID in place, so that there's fair voting, so to speak.
Are they gonna add a voter literacy test next? Is that the next step?
That would be bad for them though, because a lot of their demographic can't read, and you know,
I feel like that's the same on both sides, to be honest. Like, have you seen Twitter? Have you seen Tumblr?
Tumblr is a tumbleweed now, so we don't need to.
Did you see the crackheads who tried to start Parlor?
Sure did.
Reading is not fundamental on either side anymore.
Sure did. Yep, you're right. But see, there are more people on that literate side on
I can't
that
say that.
fit their demographic.
There's just illiteracy all around. I'm not gonna try to put numbers on it, but I have met people on both sides of the political spectrum, and they say things, and it's like, did you just use Alex Jones as a source? That's what, like,
Why
dead
would he not
ass.
be a source? Isn't he the wise man who told us about the frogs and the demon vampires?
Opening up the fifth fucking dimension in order to
Like,
fuck. Oh my
excuse you, I
god.
watch anime. I know exactly what's going on in the world
Yo,
right now.
Alex Jones about to open up Steins Gate. Y'all better chill out. My man about to find the fucking boundary in Blaze Blue. My man about to discover what's on the other side of the door. A Full Metal Alchemist. Y'all better stop fucking around with that man. But nah, jokes aside, I don't know if you guys remember what was happening in New York not too long ago, where a black bird watcher asked for a certain person to leash their dog because their dog was walking around without a leash. And then a
Mm.
video surfaced where you see the white woman calling the police on said bird watcher and basically like putting their dog in a chokehold because the way they were holding the leash, the dog was like that dog was like tripping. That dog was like, I'm being, is this what it feels like to have a spit mask on? Like it wasn't going well. And one Amy Cooper, the person who called the police officer, decided that black man is following me. He's approaching me. Help! Help! And just like obviously making a false fucking report.
Mhm.
Well, a Manhattan District Attorney dropped a charge against Amy Cooper. Charges were dropped. They said, fuck it. Instead of, locking her up or, doing something that's actually, gonna show some justice somewhere, they decided it would be best if we just put her into a rehabilitation program. What do they call it? Trying to figure out what's the specific word that they use for this.
What, rehab?
No, it's not rehab. It's like it's not recorrective.
Not indoctrination, not re-indoctrination.
Restorative justice, I think that's what they call it.
No, it's something to do with like learning. It's like relearning. Uh, uh. Oh my God, Lemongrab said this in Adventure Time.
Like it's a specific type of therapy, like rehabilitation. I don't know. But point is, I'm pretty sure it's called restorative justice. But the point is, it's basically helping her unlearn potential racial biases that she may have. Helping her learn through therapy how to open up and to be more open to other ideologies. To help them more or less be more educated to promote community healing from within. And as long as she completes that course, she's free to go the fuck home. That's just fucking crazy. That's insane to me. But yes, the judge granted the motion to dismiss the charges according to the district attorney's office statement. So,
so the funny the the weirdest thing about all of this is that right now there's a certain guy in New York who's getting a lot of flack for and people have found out that he may have been a very performative person to get the public on his side.
What are we talking
Yeah,
about here?
we're talking about Cuomo, who was pushing last year for a bill in her name against false allegations made. And
Hmm.
what do you know? She didn't even get charged. So what's happening to that bill?
Well, that bill could just be smoke and mirrors, lip service to make sure that she had a platform to be reelected on. But even if you
Hmm.
want to push that to the left, this whole Amy Cooper thing is funny because it was a class A misdemeanor. Like, she could have faced up to 1 year. Like, this
Yeah,
wasn't like something she was gonna like. Her life was going to the shadow realm, and she would be gone for the next 16 years. Like, this wasn't like this was something she would probably went to jail for a couple months for, if we're being honest. But even that was too much of a punishment for potentially putting someone else's life in fucking danger. That's just wild to me.
wait, was reconditioning the word that you were looking for?
I mean, it works, but that's not the word I was looking for now.
Okay, but yeah, Amy Cooper was being a piece of shit. The internet exposed her at the time, and then she's facing absolutely nothing. Like she's getting not even like a slap on the wrist of like, hey, you probably shouldn't be racist, and then call the cops. Nah, she's off scot free. I mean, the only thing that she's experienced is lawyer fees for getting a defense to get her out of this situation.
Now, I don't know if you guys remember the immediate fallout of the incident in question here, but Amy Cooper told CNN in a statement, "I'm not a racist. I did not mean to harm that man in any way," adding that she did not mean to cause harm to the African American community as well. But then, after the video services, right, she was fired from her job at the investment firm. And obviously, Christian Cooper, who I believe is her husband, was like, "Listen here, guys, listen here. I'm not sure that her 1 minute of poor decision making and bad judgments and without question racist response necessarily has to define her completely, you know? And it's like, I'm not asking for it to define you completely, but you shouldn't just be able to like take a 4 week trip to therapy lane and just walk the fuck like just scot free.
Exactly.
Because there are people who are sitting in a cell right now, granted, not for a long time, who have made false reports and not a damn thing happened to you. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that this is an Amy Cooper specific problem or this is just a race only problem because we've seen countless times people be like, oh my God, I was assaulted in some way, shape, or form. The person who they claim assaulted them goes to jail. Then they go out and say, I lied. I made it all up. And the person is released from jail, but no legal consequences befall the person who made the false reports in the first damn place.
There is a very important and well-known book that we were all forced to read in high school that is about this exact scenario called To Kill a Mockingbird. If you didn't understand what the point of that story was, it was this.
You can just throw anybody under the bus and there won't be any consequences for you. It's fine. It's 100% fine.
And in that book, that man was almost killed for that. He was about to get railroaded. It took one man to be like, whoa, this don't even make sense. What are you guys doing? They're like, hey, what are you doing? You don't actually invest this case or like investigate this case. Like you're not supposed to actually defend him. You're just supposed to let us do whatever we want because that woman said something. And he's like, guys, this doesn't make any sense. And I don't think it happened the way she said it did. Now let's go to the more grim version of this. There was a boy named Emmett Till who allegedly whistled at a woman and he was murdered. And turns out that woman was lying. So that like those things have consequences,
But here's the thing.
unfortunately.
Here's the thing. In modern day society, if somebody whistles at a girl walking by, yeah, probably an asshole. I'm with you on that. But do they deserve death? Like, even if they
Nah.
actually did it, like, death?
Nah. Not death. If that's like the only thing they did, not death.
And they're like, yeah, man, he whistled at her. Yeah, so you like you gotta live. You gotta remember, like, these are the times that people had to live through at one term. Like, you gotta understand that. And a lot of people are like, well, Emmett Till was a long time ago. Well, let me tell you something about one Emmett Till. So I don't know if you know this, but this whole thing happened in what, 1941, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that was really weird is that my dad was born in 1940. So let's not act like it was so long ago that multiple generations has passed since that happened.
Wait. Not 1941. 1941 is when he was born.
1955?
1955.
Let's see.
Bro, isn't that wild
Yeah,
though? Your
okay.
dad is
So
as
so
old as like come on, man. Like
yeah, so like that could have been my pops.
right.
Well, shit. That makes it even worse. But the thing is, right? The thing that was really weird about it, right? And by weird, I mean, let's not act like we're too far removed from it. The facts that his killers were acquitted. You understand that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, these were things that happened in my dad's lifetime, and he's still here and in good health. He goes for walks in the morning. Yeah, he exercises. Yeah, he does a lot of things. It's not like these are like some super old, decrepit people of a bygone era. And I feel like we have to really beat that into some people's heads. Or, yes, have we made a lot of progress? Absolutely. Have we made as much progress as a lot of people love to sit here and try to say that we did? Absolutely the fuck not. Is there plenty of work to be done? Absolutely. But let's not act like it's all peaches, roses, and cream and ice cream and sunshine out here, all right?
Yeah, it's definitely not.
And here's the thing, there are some people who may not want to hear this, but those people who are acquitted have kids. And their kids still alive today. You got to think about that. And who knows what type of racist rhetoric or not that they may have been taught in their lifetime. You got to understand, like, we're not too far removed from the bullshit. But
Exactly.
I digress. We'll be here all night. If we
Speaking of bullshit really quick though, have you heard about the children who got expelled from a school because the school found out that the mom has an OnlyFans account?
Okay, I have not heard about that. I heard about the teacher who got fired because she had an OnlyFans account, which in my mind, I'm like, listen, what she does in her private time in the safety of her own home
Mhm.
really is not any business of the school district at all. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think there's any bylaws that says that you can't do things that are legal and be a teacher.
Now, this is a Christian school, so of course you have to say, how did they find this out? Of course, it was other parents who allegedly had been complaining about this mother who has done absolutely nothing to promote her OnlyFans anywhere near the school or anywhere near any of these parents or anything like that. They found out about it, they complained, and then they complained to the school, and the school expelled her children.
So here's the thing.
She made okay, so she made her OnlyFans not to like, not for, sexual attention from other people or anything like that. She specifically said that she made this to spice up her marriage during the pandemic. And so like her and her husband are involved in this project that they do and it's like, it's for them and it's for them in their spare time. they like the school decided that, I don't know, for quote unquote moral reasons, they're gonna get the kids out of there because the parents are
Yeah, but
doing
here's the
this.
thing: it's not that's not the kids' fault. Like the kids have no influence or say on that whatsoever.
Exactly. Like,
And the thing that's really weird about it is because, as you know, I went to a Christian school at one point, and trust me, yeah, trust me, those parents. I don't know if it's an insecurity thing or what, but there are people who have their kids going to these schools where you pay $10,000 to $15,000 a year, even for middle school, elementary school, and high school education. There are people who are put in these positions where these parents will start Googling other kids and other parents. I don't know if they want to like have like a dick measuring contest, a or what, but they'll search you, and if they find something they can use as leverage, they'll keep it in the back pocket. Or what probably happened is there's probably a kid who somehow stumbled upon the secret of their friend's mom having an OnlyFans page, and then they just so happen to be either be somehow trying to crack the code and finding a way to subscribe to it, or talked about it around their parents like, Mom, do you have an OnlyFans page? Why would you say that, Derek? Oh, well, my friend Tyler, his mom's doing it. She's what? There's many different ways that this whole situation could have came up to another parent. But none of them have a particular route in which the correct way to handle the situation was expel the kids.
right. Like, yo, just because you're miserable in your marriage, or just because you're having sex life problems or whatever, or you've got some sort of like jealousy, envy type of issue going on over there, doesn't mean that's my problem and that's my fault. I'm not doing anything illegal.
Maybe
I'm
you
not doing anything that impacts you. Get out of here.
Exactly. Maybe you should be doing something in your relationship to figure out why your eggplant ain't, getting pounded like it used to. Or maybe you should just try to figure out, hey, why doesn't she want me, man? Or better yet, you may got to figure out why it's not getting as wet and as juicy as it used to. Like sometimes it's a you problem.
Maybe
Don't
we should sit down and have a conversation about this. I can give you some tips. I can help you out. Like, it
hold
worked
on,
for
hold on,
us.
hold on, pause. Whose DM you trying to slide in? Hold on.
What? No, I ain't trying to do all that. Hey, people can help people without there being some sort of ulterior motive that involves taking off your pants.
Exactly. Like sometimes it's just counseling. It's not sex. It's counseling. It's
Exactly.
it's a restorative justice therapy. And that is how you bring it full circle. But yeah, like I don't know, it's a really weird situation that like when it comes up, it's just like how did we get here as a people? Like like how has it gotten to a point to where we've deteriorated to a point to where one minute you got a bunch of people who are telling you got to be sex positive, but then they'll turn around 2 days later and tell you that, oh, what, sex worker bad.
Not like that. Whoa, stop.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing. Hey man, you should do this. Oh, but not like that. Not like that. But I'm doing not like that. Not in a way that makes me feel uncomfortable. But what you do makes no, I don't care about them. I matter. Not them. Like, come on now. There's people who do that all the time.
All
Speak
the time.
Speaking of which, you ever like make a payment on something and you may have been a little bit late, or maybe you paid too early? Yes, there are some times where paying too early is a problem. And there are times where,
Mm.
you may have paid the wrong amount because they billed you the wrong amount, but then you work things out in an amicable way in which both parties are ultimately satisfied. Well, imagine this. Imagine you're living through a disaster. Power's out. Fucking geysers are just erupting out of your fire hydrants. The sheer cold is freezing said water. And now they got to mail in Dasani just to get your state up and running. Then you finally get service on your phone. You go ahead and check your bank account and you see minus 12,000,
Excuse me? 12,000?
minus 14,000, minus 16,000. You're like, I ain't buy no used car. I didn't get an additional add-on to my house.
I'm not like a sugar daddy right now.
I don't remember subscribing to the tier 8 OnlyFans extravaganza. I don't remember getting a kidney taken out. Like I don't remember any of these things happening at any port or time. So how does this? And then you find out your electric company just charged you $16,000 on your auto pay because the system's fucked up because Texas is virtually a shit show at this point, given how they've handled the snow. And then when you call them up, like they hemming you up about details about, oh well, get bent. Hold on, we'll figure it out when we figure it out. No, that's not figuring it out fast enough because if my mine is 15,000, 16,000, or whatever it may be, there's some other bills I might have to pay. Where like, hey bro,
Yeah.
your card's declined, bro.
Sorry guys, it's a wrap. We're suing you now. Like we as a collective are just gonna sue you and get all that money you took from us. We're just gonna take it back. It's all right. Don't worry about it.
Now I'm sure that they probably eventually worked it out and came to that once again amicable thing where they're like, all right, we fucked up, our bad. Here's your money back. But you got to understand when it comes to banks and when it comes to credit unions or wherever you store your money, or even if it's fucking PayPal, that shit when they click the button refund, it is not instantly in your account.
Mm-hmm.
And if you found out about it on a Thursday, or excuse me, even worse, a Wednesday, then you had to disclose it on Thursday, and then you had to talk to somebody on Friday, and they finally get it done on Friday, your bank may not open up till Monday, and therefore they might not even get the fact that it happened until Tuesday. You might have to go a whole week with $0.00 to your name. Because everybody ain't living like lavish. Like everybody doesn't have the great Wi-Fi. They can't just buy a bunch of fucking art. They can't buy fucking big ass TVs, PCs, PlayStation 5s. Like, a lot of people, whether we'd like to admit it or not, you think they're living well, but they're really living paycheck to paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
And to just have a 16K deductible on your life? Nah, bro. Not good. Especially when it's right. Like I think this happened like either the week before or the week of you being able to file your fucking taxes.
Good job, guys. It's almost like they knew, like they were waiting for this or something.
It's a shit show and a quarter and a half. Like it's not. I don't even know how you allow that to happen. Like it just doesn't make sense. Like God blew up the entire power grid down here, and my power somehow miraculously didn't go out. So now you're gonna make me suffer now through my wallet? That's crazy. It couldn't be me.
And it's not like these companies are coming out and be like, "Well, oops, sorry guys, so we like overcharged you. We'll go ahead and take care of that." They're like, "No, that's the power bill. Like go ahead, pay us, please."
Like
It's like,
they have none of them infomercials jump out with 1-800-HOUR-BAD. Like they're not. Those are not. These are not
like
things that happen.
if this doesn't result in them going out of business, like then there's something in the water over there. It's just, I mean, they were this close to becoming like Flint, Michigan, where it's like, hey guys, can you help us with water, please? Because we don't really have any.
And the funny thing is, when they were asking for help about water, and the Coke company decided they were going to send people to Dasani, I saw so many memes of people being like, "Water! I found water! Dasani!" Then they start crawling back the other way. I need water because a lot of people were clowning hard on Dasani. Like that's just great. That's just great. But when you look at like some of the ingredients in there, like some of the ingredients that are in Dasani are some of the ingredients that are in lethal injection. Yeah, Dasani got some weird shit in it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know how we got to this point, but I guess at this point, it is what the fuck it is. But, like, yeah, Dasani deserves to be clowned on because it is low tier water. Alongside Deer Park, Fight Me. A Deer Park tasted like a deer parked in it.
Look, man, water is water, bro.
That's what it
I don't
should
know all
be.
about that.
That's what it should be. That's what it should be. But some water somehow found a way to have weird fucking aftertaste, and I'm just like, I don't even know how we got here, to be honest with you. Like it just feels weird.exe. But speaking of weird.exe and bad aftertaste in our mouth, there's one thing about Twitch that I forgot to mention. So you remember how you were talking about the purple screen of death earlier?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that they're running advertisements right now that are basically trying to tell people to vote no on being unionized at Amazon? Like they're actually running ads on Twitch where it'll be like Amazon employees like, Amazon's a perfect place to work. We don't need a union. A union would be very bad for the workers. Like, could you imagine, like, during a pandemic, running anti-union? Like, first of all, run the concept of an anti-union advertisement
Right.
is just like, what the fuck? But
Hey
doing
guys.
it during a pandemic when people are jobless or struggling to find work or struggling to find employment, like, and this is just hot off the heels of you guys being outed for withholding tips from your employees that totaled into the millions of dollars. And then you turn around and say that you're anti-union. It's not a good fucking look. I will tell you that.
Look, guys, I know that you feel like there's some wild stuff going on here, but you don't need to team up and try to fight us because you feel like you've been wronged. No, no, no. We here at Amazon, we care about you. Don't worry. Work is going to be great. We're going to take care of it in, I don't know, 300 to 500 business days. Don't worry. We
Three to
have you
five
guys.
hundred.
You don't have to riot. You don't have to go on strike or form a union or anything like that. Don't worry. We got you. We are Amazon. We are for the people.
We are Amazon. Bump, 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 bump. That's not quite. It's not their anthem, but fuck it. Amazon's got the money. They'll steal it and then pay the royalties to. Was it farmers? I think that's farmers. But
Yeah.
the point is, Amazon has proven time and time again that they're whack. And just like any big corporation that's in the multi-billion dollars, they're ran by fucking assholes who don't give a fuck about the next man, the middleman, or the John Everyman or every woman. The
Right.
only thing that they care about is lining their pockets, making them thicker, and finding out new and creative ways to break the back of the lower and middle class worker. That's it. That's it. And they don't care whose face, soul, body, bodily functions that they have to walk over, walk through, or make their lower class workers sift through
Oof.
to get to the next dollar. They're gonna fucking do it. And if you don't get down, you'll lay down on the poverty line and the unemployment line, and they'll be like, "Well, you either gonna play ball or you're gonna be poor. What do you want to do? Play for your freedom." Like that's it. That's it. That's big business in a nutshell. That's just what they do. But keeping with the darker themes of tonight's podcast, I don't know how many of you guys have followed esports over the past couple of years, but as you've seen, many different genres have began to rise to the forefront. Like we're seeing more card games like thrive, whether it's the Pokemon TCG, Yu-Gi-Oh has Duel Links on mobile. Like we're seeing a lot of people making a lot of money playing games that 5 or 6 years ago we would have laughed at calling it an esport. Like look at Fall Guys. Like Fall Guys is a game that when we looked at it, we were like, it's a game with 3 buttons where you just hop, jump, and grab. Their servers are ran like trash. Esports. Who's gonna and like now they're having like $5,000, $10,000 circuits almost on a weekly basis. Like Twitch Rivals has done things for Fall Guys. And this is a game that didn't even have a lobby system for you to even have private lobbies to have invitationals. But still, the competitive scene for that game is thriving with all the glitches, bugs, and hot nonsense with their servers and their hackers running rampant and not being able to have private lobbies where people who are watching the Twitch Rivals tournament can stream snipe the Twitch Rivals tournament. Because they just recently, I think it was like a couple patches ago, they added private lobbies, but some of these tournaments are running on public lobbies so you can still stream snipe. In all, some areas, it's still a gigantic shit show. But as I've said, it's shocking to see how many new esports are coming to the table. One of which being Call of Duty Mobile. I may be saying, all right, you said that you were going to continue with a dark theme. Where is this going? Well, Call of Duty Mobile, apparently tensions have recently skyrocketed because I don't know if you've heard about this, but a Brazilian player was murdered, brutally and maliciously stabbed repeatedly by another player. So Ingrid Oliveira was killed by Guilherme Alves Costa, and Oliveira got her life ended at age 19, to the point to where we're all questioning, well, what the fuck was this about? Was this about beef over the game? What was this about? Well, apparently, this is one of those boy meets girl in online video game, and they start talking on Discord, and they decide they want to hang out in person. And then, oh, by the way, the dude's fucking insane, kills her, apparently makes a video about it,
Hmm.
says that he does it, makes a confession, and it's just like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Who are these people? What in the shit? Hello? Call of Duty Mobile? Hello? What is going on? This doesn't make a lick of sense. And we have seen some people, some grifters coming out of the works saying that this is proof that video games make you crazy and they make you murderers and killers and things of that nature, and they teach you to be basically a semen demon and want you to go on murderous tirades. But it's interesting how if I'm playing a video game that like is about being a surgeon or being a librarian or being a good friend, apparently video games are not going to allow me to become those people. Video games won't be able to teach me how to, I don't know, live a normal life or be a mayor if I'm playing SimCity. But somehow having a game with a gun in it immediately is the only factor in my life that could have ever made me a killer. It's video games that made me choose the violence. And I feel terrible that a woman could die at a young age, didn't even hit their 20s. And the first thing somebody wants to do is jump out on a webpage instead of talking about how terrible this is and how fucked up it is. They want to make it a political statement about video games cause people to become killers and we should stop the video games. Video games are what caused this. I don't know. Did you have any thoughts on that? Like, does it not bother you that people have like stooped to that level yet again in this dumb argument that is apparently as old as fucking time?
Do you remember when
Don't say Jack Thompson. Don't say that man. Don't say that man's name. Don't say that man. If that's the man you were thinking of, don't say it.
Well, no. Let's go to a different example. See, I was gonna bring up the Mortal Kombat thing because that, boy. But do you remember when I believe the band was Judas Priest, where they were like, "This music is devil music, and it's gonna make everyone a Satan worshiper," and then they're all going to worship Satan and sacrifice each other and do evil things, and we will not allow this. And then they like in open court took like a Judas Priest a record and started like playing it backwards, and they're like, "Look, you see this satanic message that's here in this song?" And it was like, look at where we are now, right? Look at where Judas Priest is now.
Look, it kind of
Is
remind
it,
it kind of reminds me of I don't know if you remember this, but when people tried to say that every rapper is part of the Illuminati and they played what's the song that Jay-Z had? Oh god, I know this doesn't narrow it down because there's like a shit ton that he's made. Oh my god. All right, anyways, I can't remember the name of the song off the top of my head, but the song, if you played it backwards, it's like 4 minutes of but there's like one part where if you really listen, it sounds like it's a spit on the Lord. And it's like, see, spit on our Lord. And people were like trying to hold on to that for the longest fucking time. And I'm just sitting here like, the lengths people will go to just basically be the next Alex Jones in terms of their conspiracy theory telling abilities. Just like, you can't even say it's for a drop of clout because some of these people really believe this shit and really think they're doing some god that they worship's fucking work in order to make the world a better place. Like, see that look of confusion you have on your face? That's me. That's me when people say these things. But please continue.
Well, you see,
Because Judas Place finds himself in a very different place right now.
exactly. Judas Priest became a very, very popular band. And I don't know about you, but I am not a Satanist that is sacrificing random people a la Hereditary style. Like, there's no rituals here. Um, Video games are not driving people to be violent and maniacal. The people were driven to become maniacal through other means. Something else happened in that person's life that drove them to, believe that not only is it okay to murder someone, but it's okay to film them because people will accept me if I share this cool, quote unquote, cool video of me doing the crimes. Like the video games didn't teach the person all of that. The video games didn't, wire their brain that way. There's no video game that's like, that's right, kid. Now you go outside and you pick up a gun, and now you also do this too. Like, no, no.
I hate to say it, you can't say no because there's been some crazy ass fan games out there.
Yeah, there are some bad video games out there. You're right. You're right.
There's two that come to mind. There's Hatred, which is basically just like I was bullied and now I will murder
Oh
you
my
all.
god. Oh.
It was like what if
Okay.
Shadow the Hedgehog was a human? Yes. And
I
like
mean, you have Custer's Revenge. Like video games always had like the idiots who made things that were just to be fucking shitty.
and I want to
But
say it was like 8 or 9 years ago there was a game called Rape Play and it's exactly what it sounds like. You out here just playing a rapist. That's the game. That's the fucking game. You're Rape Man. So we can't say that there's no video games out here that exist that are hey go out there and be a piece of shit. Those games exist, but even in those games, it was usually drummed up to some weird over dramatization
right.
that this is clearly not what a normal rational person would do. But I'm sure there's probably some fuck ass game I haven't heard of that's gotten some popularity somewhere. Like what was it like 4 or 5 years? It was a puzzle game that came out on Steam that was basically like it was like Tetris or Bejeweled, but you were positioning slaves and slave ships. Yeah, there are some fucks out there.
Some people do some things, but like back to back to the point here. Call of Duty Mobile is not the reason why this man killed this woman. Like he that was his vehicle to get him to meet this woman, but he planned this out unbeknownst to Call of Duty Mobile and it's whatever is in that video game. He did all of this because he had something in his brain to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, like he had some reasons to do it, and those are reasons that we don't know yet. Maybe it'll be revealed later. But like example, there's a Law and Order SVU episode that was about like girls, like popular girls in their cliques, and how they can get this like mob mentality if one of them is like certifiably insane. And it also showed how they were bullying someone else and how that person who was bullied was brought to pushed too far pretty much. And like this episode was based on a real case about a girl who moved into a new town. She befriended someone, that someone that she became best friends with had a girlfriend. This girl was like young. She was like 12 years old. But the other one had like a girlfriend who was older, I believe. And the girlfriend became jealous and they broke up. And then the jealous girlfriend had a friend who literally said she wanted to kill someone. And they all rounded up a group of their friends and invited this new girl out, saying like, "Oh, we're gonna just go hang out, have fun, blah blah blah, whatever," right? And they killed this girl like brutally, like it was very bad. And of course, it turns out that the girl who said that she wanted to kill people and all this stuff, she had been abused at home. She had dealt with all kinds of horrible things at her home. And so that was her taking out that frustration on someone else. Mind you, the crime was fucking awful. I'm not gonna go into details about that. If you want to figure it out, it's the crime that's based on the episode Mean from Law and Order SVU. So you can Google that and find out the details of the crime yourself. But uh, it was literally a girl who had been abused, who then had it in her brain of like, well, people hurt me all my life, so that means it's okay for me to hurt other people. And so this person probably had some sort of similar backstory where they got to a point where they believed that it was okay to do this sort of thing, and that's why they decided to film it and think that people would actually approve of them filming this murder. But that person is a piece of shit, and hopefully they go under the jail for doing this, because you shouldn't ever put someone in a position where they feel safe with you because you guys share this interest in this game, and then you meet up and they betray your trust in the worst way possible and kill you. Like, that's not cool, and it's not Call of Duty Mobile's fault for any of that. It's the onus is on the dude who did that, and it's a tragic event. That's honestly it. But like, video games are not breeding like, killers like that.
The only sin that Call of Duty has on its shoulders right now is how the fuck do you make a 500 gigabyte game? Like, what the fuck is that? Why is the game that big? That's the only thing they got to worry about. But they're not responsible for this. You can't hold their feet to the fire for this.
Right.
Situation is still just like, I just don't understand how this like, I'm not saying it happens with great regularity, but we've seen these people where it's like, oh, it's someone who I've been talking to online, and then they just meet up, and then it's like, oh god, he's a psycho killer, or oh my god, she cut off my dick. Like, there's some weird shit, bro.
Well, the one about if you're talking about like the story in the like 90s where a chick cut off a dude's dick and like threw it outside her car, that had
I wasn't.
strong motive behind
was.
it.
I was not talking about that one.
Oh, okay. I
I
thought you
do.
were
I
making
do.
a reference to that.
I do remember that one astronaut chick who fucking drove to catch catch her husband cheating.
Oh my god, and she
And
was
she,
wearing a diaper.
yeah,
Oh,
the whole trip. I was like, yo, that she was a woman on a mission right there. But anywho, a couple of things to wrap it up. So CD Projekt Red had a huge patch that was supposed to, be the big savior patch for Cyberpunk 2077 and really get the game really performing and hitting the benchmarks that they originally set out for the game to hit. But it's been delayed due to a hack, and like, I think they're still under investigation for basically the Better Business Bureau basically trying to be like, hey, did you guys sell them a bill of goods? Did you guys lie? Because I remember they accepted that award at the Gamescom conference for best PlayStation game, and now it's a game that's not even available on the PlayStation ecosystem. So it's kind of interesting how some of these things ended up turning out. But
maybe you shouldn't say that a game that hasn't released yet is one of the best games ever to exist.
I mean, you're not wrong, but they'll never learn. They will never learn.
No, we gotta make them learn. That's
I mean,
what has to change that.
we should, but hey, Poland's equivalent of the Better Business Bureau or the Poland's Office of Competition and Consumer Protection is still, I believe they're still under investigation for that. So we will see what that ends up turning up. And that's probably why CD Projekt Red is probably trying to expedite these patches to get the game back up to snuff, like faster than we may or originally or initially anticipated them doing. But I think the PlayStation version ship, I think that ship is long since sailed. But I don't know. It's weird how they're not even the worst offenders of this exact thing this week. Some of you may be saying, wait, what do you mean? Well, Anthem was supposed to release this major DLC Mondo rework patch that was going to fix the game and basically give you the game that you saw during those initial trailers and finally make the game be this huge, just expanded mythos, this crazy lore based game, the Destiny killer. as a lot of people originally sold it to us. And well, you see, Destiny is not having any fucking problems thriving right now.
Free to
But
play.
yep, but Anthem's decided that EA decided they were just going to scrap the project. So Anthem Next is no more. So the only type of hype that you were able to dredge up over the past the entire game's lifespan, uh
Right.
you just decide to say, yeah, we're just going to throw it in the trash. It's over. And they're stopping all support, and Anthem will die as it lived. Dog shit.
You know what? I want to say this right now. If you're out there and you've been playing Anthem this whole time, hit me up. I want to know, how's that experience? How's you been doing it? How's life?
Like, are you okay? Like, everything good? Like,
Yeah. What's up?
that's,
May I interest you in a video game called Cyberpunk 2077?
I mean, it's not perfect, but at least
Sure is better than that.
it's not on life support. Like shit. I mean, if you really want to fuck with a game that had a come up, the come up that you were promised, hey man, just go. It's like what, $20 right now. Go buy No Man's Sky. Come on, bro. Just go ahead and do it, bro. Just take the plunge. Just take the plunge. They did something with that. They were doing something. They do a little something, something. You know, a little something, something. But all in all, look, I can't say I'm shocked by the Anthem thing, but somehow I'm still disappointed. Is that weird to say? Like
Yes.
I'm not shocked. I'm not even upset. It's what we expected. But somehow I'm still disappointed in the fact that why would you even tell that lie, EA? You knew damn well that you were not going to bring that patch to fruition from jump. But you still put it
Well,
out there. You still tried to push it. I understand the pandemic probably snuck up on you and put an extra few hitches in your plan, but come on now.
well, didn't EA just recently get bought out by a Saudi Arabian company of sorts?
Well, the Saudi
Mm-hmm.
Arabian company bought some stakes in it, but
Mm-hmm.
multiple companies. It was a total of 3.3 billion between EA, Take Two, Activision Blizzard, and I believe there was a couple of others as well. But that
So you
doesn't.
don't think somebody came to EA headquarters, walked into a room and said, "Hey, remember that thing that you said that you had a roadmap for, and the game tanked, but you were like, no, guys, we're gonna resuscitate it. We've got the paddles. We're gonna do this. Charge 250 volts. Why don't you guys turn off the machine and just stop it right now? Like, you're costing us money now, and we don't like that. So how about you just go ahead and say, sorry guys, it's gone, it's canceled, it's over, because
Nah,
it's canceled. We
I
we will not allow it.
I doubt that was what caused this because, look, look. I'm gonna just say I doubt it. I'm gonna just say I doubt it.
You're telling me all that crunch was for nothing?
I mean, that's how most crunches are. I forgot what game it was, but there was a company who told them if their game got a 80 on Metacritic, they would all get their performance bonuses, and it got like a 78. So none of the developers got paid the shit that they were promised. Because originally it was just what they were going to get paid, but then they got put into a performance goal of the game, which is completely out of their hands. Yes, some developers will pay their people who are developing the fucking game performance bonuses that a game has to make a certain score on Metacritic or some site in order for them to actually get paid what is a living wage. And yes, those are games that you could be crunched for as well. Being a video game developer is dog shit. Let me just tell you that right now. Like, if you do it because like you love it and it's a passion project, and do it for like your game, or like be a part of a small team. But like being like a developer, like unless you're gonna like use that to springboard yourself into a position of a Hideo Kojima or something like that, I don't think it's worth it. What do you think? You think it's worth it?
No, it's definitely not worth it. I mean, think about MGS5. Think about all the people who put all the work into MGS5 and all of the time and effort they put into that series,
Mhm.
just to see the way it panned out, and then see the actual game and go, "Wait, what the fuck?" Or be like, "You know what? This actually wasn't that bad." And then they move on to work on Death Stranding because they're like, "Kojima, I am with you 100%." And then they work on Death Stranding and they, look at the game and they're just like, "Wait, why are you doing all this stuff with the word strand?" I just or now think of being one of the people who was on the original team for Anthem, where they're like, "This is going to be the most amazing video game you guys are ever going to see. You guys are going to do it all. You're going to do it well, and we're going to kill Destiny. We're going to do it all." And then they get to that fateful what was it, like a conference, or it was like some event where it's like, now they need a demo ready. It's like, yeah, give me that demo footage. It's like, oh shit, oh well, none of this is what I wanted. Wait, what, sir? What? This is everything that you said you want. No, 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 no. This doesn't look how I wanted it to. Actually, just give me a video right now. Just give me any video. Just make a video in 5 minutes,
Sounds
please,
like
and let me
sounds like
let me just go
Anthem to
ahead and
me.
exactly. It's like, hey guys, you see this? This is amazing. This is brilliant. You can fly.
You
It's
are Iron Man.
you're just like Iron Man. You can fly around. You can do whatever you want in this game. This will be the most amazing video game ever, and it's gonna kill Destiny. And then staying on that team and staying on that team until the game gets launched, and everyone goes, "What is this video game, and why is it so bad?" And then hearing your boss go, "Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. We're gonna fix this. We've got a roadmap that's coming out. Yeah, we're gonna fix all of it. We're gonna put all the work into the game. No one is going home until this game is amazing, and it's gonna kill Destiny." And then hearing today, yeah, it's canceled. Go home, guys. What, you've been here? You've been here for months? Nah, go home.
Just go home. Just go ahead and
Yeah,
take
it's
this
all
L.
it's all over. But what about my pay, and what about the bonus that you said I was going to get when the game released? Yeah, it's all shut down. Sorry, there's no money. I can't pay you. Go home. Actually, in fact, you're fired. Sorry, we don't have a job for you anymore. So go home and find a new job.
Yep, it's just a wrap for you, kid.
The
But
project is over.
but speaking about it being a wrap for you, I went back and I wanted to go look up a couple of examples. So Obsidian developers during Fallout New Vegas development were paid a straight payment. So they obviously, got paid, crunch or not, they got paid. But he also said to a question about royalties, financial success, and any sort of stretch goals that were necessarily put or payment bonuses, they would only get a bonus if they got an 85 plus on Metacritic. And since the game didn't, they didn't get those bonuses. Which I think it's really weird that you could put in work, but you can only get everything that would be in your initial contract if the game itself performs well.
Yeah,
Like, I put the hours and the time in and I did exactly what you told me to do.
I did the work.
But if it
Like,
didn't take well, then like I gotta hold the L for that.
so because your vision of this project didn't go the way that you expected it to, I don't get paid, even though I was paid to do the work, which is done, which is there.
Now sometimes it's fine because the bonuses was literally just extras, and the
Mm,
people were paid something to live comfortably, and I believe that was the case of Fallout New Vegas. But you
right.
find out some of these things are they were paid like dog shit. They were crunched into 60 to 80 hour fucking weeks, and then the Metacritic score didn't reflect what they got. So like they basically just got hoed for no reason, and that happens from time to time. So I'm like, being a game developer is not all it's cracked up to be.
Could you imagine being on the team for Duke Nukem Forever? And then them saying, "Yeah, this has got to get at least an 85 on Metacritic, or else none of you are getting paid." And then it comes out and it gets a 2, and they're just like, "Yeah, sorry, we're actually charging you $200, so please pay up."
Swing.
Yeah, hands, like just throw the hands. Like take all the mannequins, pop off the hands, throw them.
But yeah, swing. Just swing. Just swing on them right now. Just do it. Run their fade. If you need help, I'll go talk to them.
And then take your money back. Like, yo, you're gonna pay me one way or another. And then hire a lawyer, and then say, I'm taking everything. Or you say, what is it that Andrew Garfield said in Social Media Network? That's right. I'm not coming for part of the company. I'm coming for the whole thing now. That's right. You better lawyer up, asshole.
Lawyer up, asshole. I don't know why. That's always funny for me. It's always funny to me. I don't know why, but it just is. But all things aren't doom and gloom. We're not going to talk about just shit games. We're going to close out with a game that I thought was going to be shit. I'm not even going to cap. I thought this game was not going to be as fun and as enjoyable as it ended up being. But Guilty Gear Strive, the second beta, the open beta this time, was last weekend. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that when I looked at my card at the end, I had over 300 matches played. I was out there. I was out there grinding, and it was fun. I'm gonna let you take the floor first. What was your experience with Guilty Gear Strive?
It is a very amazing game, and it is going the way that fighting games of the new generation should go. This is exactly what we needed for the first game to come out on the PS5 and the Xbox again. So
This man called it the Xbox again.
bro, it's the Xbox again. It pretty much has the same interface as the one before it. It's well, we could call it the Xbox 2 if that's easier. But Xbox Series X after what was it, that mini one, which was like Xbox Series. Like, come on, man. All right,
The
Guilty
Xbox
Gear
One
Strive.
X. Yeah, there you go.
Mhm.
But go on.
Guilty Gear Strive is a great game that shows you that netcode for fighting games is important and it exists and it can be done properly. As we've been saying for several years now, it's right there. Just take it and put it in your game and it will work fine and everyone will love it because we're all at home. We're playing your game at home. We're not going out into the streets playing it in the middle of the road. We're at home trying to play each other, trying to make friends, trying to build some relationships along the way, you know. But the roster is really good for a starting out roster for fighting game. And they announced Eno, which is a bonus.
Mhm.
RC is really, really good, but it's also like wild the things that you could do with it, which is really cool for a fighting game. So good for that. Um some characters get away with murder. Like get away with murder. And it's really weird that the game doesn't have frame data in like at least in like training mode for you to like look at and be like, okay, this move is -5. Hammerfall is -5. What? Hmm? Okay. Dolphin is +5 unless insta blocked. Hmm? Oh, or, you know, finding out that Hammer Fist is like Hammer Fist is -26, and it's like what? But I haven't been punishing it the whole time for fear of getting grabbed. You know, like
But here's the funny thing, right? So Hammerfall is -5, right?
right,
But the thing that I find interesting is like I know they'll change it, but remember how dynamic and just immersive the tutorial for Exert was, right? Or for at least for
right.
Revelator.
Bring that back.
Do you see the tutorial for the Strive beta?
Hey, soul bad guy, how's it going? It's me, your buddy, Kai. Remember when we fought in those other games? Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm a king now. All right, so do you remember when we used to fight? Let's fight right now.
And then
Actually, do you know how to fight?
and then the game just goes mash. The
Yeah,
game doesn't tell you anything. The game
it's
just
like,
says beat him up, and then like you just
hey,
fight.
Soul, moving forward is, pressing that forward thing on your D-pad there. Now come towards me. All right, now go back to block. All right, now let's fight.
Yeah, that's literally all it is.
Really?
That's literally all it is.
I hope you can hear me shredding your fiber right now. Appreciate it. But it's going in the shredder.
Appreciate the sub there, Set Twitch. We appreciate that.
I appreciate the gift.
But pressing forward, we got to be honest here. Like, it's just like, what? Like, I'm not saying that you have to have the whole tutorial figured out, but you've shown me that can make a double S tier tutorial.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting more, but like I said, once again, it's a beta. I can't really harp on it too negatively. I'm sure it'll be great when the official game releases. We just thought it was a weird omission to not have, something. Like, even if it's like mad Omega basic, but I digress.
I thought that, like, I wasn't expecting a tutorial, but I thought that if they were going to put a tutorial in, it would be like the full thing, not, I don't know, the Dragon Ball tutorial from like season 1, but
well, even that gave you like square, 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 triangle, triangle, triangle. This was literally just like, this was just dead ass. This is how you walk forward. This is how you walk back. This is how you jump. All right,
this is how you attack.
play
That's
the game.
it.
They didn't even have this is how you attack.
Beat them up.
They said beat them up now.
It was like, these are the attack buttons. Beat him up. When you hit him, you do damage.
It's like, yeah, there you go. But as far as the gameplay mechanics, like, I will admit, every character feels like a much simpler and more straightforward version of the versions that they might have had in the yesteryear. Especially when you look at a character like Mia or even Eddie, his dynamically weird ass. Like, obviously, there's crazy stuff that you could do, especially with the Roman cancel feature. It's something that I think every anime ArcSys game has had in some way, shape, or form. I think it was called Rapid Cancels in Blaze Blue. Like, it's something that
the forgotten game.
Yeah, but these are like things that you could always do. And I think it's weird because while it is powerful in Strive, it is very meter heavy. It's a huge resource, costs 50 tension. But unlike in Guilty Gear Strive, I feel like you build meter hella slow in this game, or at least in this current build, you build meter so slow in this game that, like, unless you're going to save yourself from dying, or you're going for a combo or a very specific thing that gets a kill, like, for example, you hammer fall in with Potemkin and then you Roman, so you can do Potemkin Buster and just do like 40% damage. Like, unless you're in those huge, very volatile situations, I just feel like Roman canceling doesn't really play as much of a role as it may have done in Exerd. But once again, this is in this build in a very limited subset of matches in a brand new game. So obviously I can't speak to where the meta is going to be. Also,
yeah, that's hard.
Also, they toned down the damage just a little bit in this build. So we don't know if the damage will be toned down again. We don't know if moves are going to be buffed. We don't know if characters are going to have a more expanded upon move list and command list when the official game comes out. There are many things that seem to be subject to change. Now, I don't know if necessarily the user interface of the game has grown on me from the first beta to now, because there were some changes and they said there's more changes to be had, but it didn't annoy me as much this time. And I think that was partially because the combo numbers weren't 4/4 of the screen.
Oh my god, they do get there though. Like, when you get up in the numbers, like once you get to like 15, then pretty much half the screen is the number for the combo. And but luckily, but you're not really getting there most of the time with characters, so it's not that big of a deal. But
that's because the combos in this game are very straightforward and relatively simplistic. But I do feel as though there's a good emphasis on neutral in this game.
Right.
Now, once again, we're going to have to see how this plays out, because I do feel like a little bit lost at sea with how some of the aerial normals are in this game, because you've experienced it. I've experienced some of these overhead or these upper body invincible moves, which are supposed to operate very similar to a 2H in Dragon Ball, have the problem of, yes, they're upper body invincible, but a lot of these characters have air normals that extend downward with like an object, like May's anchor. So the anchor will hit my lower body before my upper body invincible move hits May. So we either get a weird trade or I just lose outright. Or there's some situations where I feel like the move doesn't actually just work. Now, I will say Giovanna's forward punch, her anti-air move, is really good. But a lot of these moves you don't get a lot of stuff off of. And the knockdowns that they grant can allow them to just jump and then air dash back at you again. So you're in a constant state of just doing this one thing, or have to worry about them going for a move in the air and then Roman canceling into something. Like, there's a lot of things, because a lot of these moves that are anti-air moves are slow. Like they're not fast moves whatsoever. So if you're reacting to the air dash and then you put the move in, there's a chance that your move's not coming out. You're getting stuffed.
Yeah, but like air dashing in general got nerfed. Like forward air dash is like has a slow startup. Except for it seems like Giovanna's is like fast as fuck. But like backdash seems like it's like the normal Guilty Gear speed from like Xrd, but forward dash has like a startup, and it literally has an effect that shows it to you. So it's like now you should press the button, but unfortunately most of the time when you're pressing that button, unless it's like what is it 6A or 6P, yeah, because 6P is the universal like anti-air normal for everyone. Unless it's that, you're not gonna like get someone on reaction. Like for example, like with Kai, I would do, what is it, 2 hard slash to like anti-air a lot of people. And like if I see that effect of the air dash, by the time 2 HS comes out, like I'm counter hit, especially with Giovanna. I'm counter hit. Or they're away from me and I've now whiffed, and now I'm getting whiff punished, like, you know, that sort of thing. So there are a few moves and normals that like the command list is literally like, this is the move that's good for anti-airing, but you have to guess in some cases. So it doesn't really seem like it's used as like a reactionary thing. I think they really want you to use 6P as the reactionary thing for an anti-air, but you don't get anything off of it. That's the problem. Like you don't really get a combo off of it. I think even if you roaming cancel, you don't really get a good combo off of it because of the situation of where their body is and all that.
And that's just kind of how things are at this point. And it's mad weird to me.
There are very weird things about the way the game plays, but I mean, like overall it's pretty good. There are just like some aspects of like the combo system, some aspects of characters move sets that need to be tweaked. Oh, also just delete Potemkin. You know, oh, I'm sorry, this may offend you, Potemkin player.
Oh, here we go.
But but just you know, just delete that character, or I don't know, give everyone a command grab.
I mean, Soul's got one and does half your health, but we're not here to talk about him.
Yeah,
We're not here to talk about that monster.
Good luck getting close enough to do this.
No, have you seen what it looks like when someone's playing on Hitbox?
Oh shit! All right, that's a totally different story. Yeah, you're right.
That man was just in there and his hand was just out, bro. I watched that poor May player being like, "Ha, he's blocking." Go from that to "I'm a genius" to hemmed up and oh no, just hemmed up. She just lost. She had no options. She just had to hold the L. Get aboard the L train. Your ticket has been punched to the next dimension. Like she was just going, bro.
Soul felt like an Xrd character that got put into Strive, which is kind of cool, kind of interesting, but also like it's like what they did with Ken in Street Fighter V, where they're like, yeah, he's a wild man. He's wild and in the streets. So we're gonna give him command grab. You know, he's gonna have fire everywhere. He's gonna have this crazy normal. What is it? Forward slash. That's gonna be like half the screen. It's like he's gonna do it, and he's also gonna get a combo starter as a special move that slides through all highs and hits you low, or hits you mid, and launches you so that you can get an air series going for it. Wow.
But yeah, like overall, I'm really liking the game. I do miss some of the complexity that Guilty Gears of the yesteryear had, even though I was absolutely diarrhea dog shit at most of the older Guilty Gears, like way back when. Xrd was the first time I actually tried to put time into a Guilty Gear game, and I thought it was okay. Obviously, not beating top players. Let's not go that far, guys. Relax. Not saying I was crispy with it, but you know what I'm saying? I wasn't burnt toast. I wasn't a burnt burger patty over here, all right? We were okay. This game, I feel like, is a good balance between complex, but I feel like it's a different complex, because before it was complex on doing the moves and getting the character to do whatever it needs to do. Right. This one, I feel like the complexity is going to be more of the chess match between what is my opponent going to do and what do I do in order to circumvent whatever they're doing in the neutral or when they're pressuring me, yada yada, so on and so forth. Now I don't know
Right.
if the current meter gain is healthy for the game, but I also feel like there's some characters that are going to get a lot more out of meter than others. So I don't know how you balance that. Because what you don't want is characters building up different amounts of meter, because then it gets really weird. Because then you could end up in situations where if a character needs to be buffed, they just buff the meter gain and leave the character the exact same.
Well, I feel like they could find a way to like balance it out, you know, because you have characters like, for example, like Chip and Mila are like very like rush down heavy, like super fast like characters, but they have like no health. So the risk reward is I'm trying to get in, but like, hey, oh hey Potemkin, you hit me, oh, oof, half
It's
my health is
over.
gone.
It's gone.
Right, exactly. So they'll probably find a balance for that sort of thing with meter gain as well. Like maybe like rushdown characters like Chip and Mila don't gain as much meter as everyone else because they're probably going to get more opportunities to gain a lot of meter as opposed to other characters like maybe like Kai. Who wants to play a more defensive game sometimes with like you know his fireballs and his the flip that his razor kick because razor saber I guess was I don't know too good to be put back in the game. Characters like Ramathal who have like you know very giant long normals, so they don't necessarily want to be in your face all the time and want to play more defensive. But the game literally gives you negative penalty if you play too defensive. So it's like you got to get in there, bro. What are you doing full screen? Get in there. Get in there. Also, you gain less meter if you're just like, you know, full screen. Hey, I hit you with two normals. Oh, ooh, I got hit. Oh my god, I'm in a mix. What's happening? I've got enough meter to YRC. And now we've reset the neutral, so I've got to find my way back in and get more bar.
Like I said, we'll see what happens when the game finally pulls out. Like we'll see, right?
Yeah, the finished product will probably be a lot more polished. And then from then on, hopefully, Arc System will pay attention to the community enough to like balance out certain things that people have problems with. Oh, also, hopefully by the you know finished product, they just completely get rid of the lobby system. I don't know. I don't care if you give me like a menu with cards that are fighting each other. Like at least it'll be better than whatever the fuck that was in this beta because it's really like not good. People are not even on the same like wavelength and it's like it's really odd.
I mean, we'll
You see
see.
like
We'll see.
we played a bunch of games and there are tons of moments where like you were doing something on your end and it didn't show on my end until like 2 minutes later. So like I couldn't tell
Okay,
that
I don't know
we were
about two
connecting and
minutes
shit like
later.
that.
Now,
It got close.
no, you're talking about the lobby system. Yeah, the lobby system needs to go. The lobby system
Yeah.
itself is
I'm talking about the lobby. I'm not talking about like the gameplay.
okay.
No.
The
Rollback is great.
the
The
lobby
lobby though,
system
the lobby is
I will
delay
admit
based netcode.
that is the worst lobby in the history of fighting games. That is the worst lobby in the history of fighting games. Like, don't get me wrong. I understand that they probably were upset that the last time they did a huge lobby system, it got to a point to where a lot of people weren't using it. And that's because your netcode was terrible. So why would I want to connect to a random person knowing there's about a 60 to 70% chance that the connection is going to be ass? I'm only going to play with
Mhm.
my friends anyway, so there's no reason for me to go to one of those open lobbies that have the 3D avatars, the arcade machines, which I thought if you had that in this game, them arcades would be filled. Now, maybe you don't need 40 different rooms for each region.
Right.
Maybe a good healthy 10 to 20 because y'all be having like 32 or 64 rooms for each region, which that may be too much. But let me tell you something. If you had Exert's lobby system in this game, I guarantee I'd be going up the random arcade cabinets trying to be like, hey, you want to run it? You want to run it? Oh, you play Faust? Let's run it. But before, when it comes to Exerd, if you were not on a Discord, a very active Reddit community, or like a Facebook group, you were not finding matches because nobody was playing ranked at all. Nobody was playing regular lobby matches at all. Would that be their try at a tournament thing? I see someone in the chat's asking if that would be a try at a tournament. Like, no. So basically, you know how like some games have like a lobby system where you're like, I'll go, like, let's say you're living in, like, let's say Atlanta. So you would go to the US, East Coast, and then you pick a lobby, like you see in Dragon Ball Fighters. Well, in Guilty Gear Xrd, it was basically the same thing, but there was basically these virtual arcade cabinets that you could sit down at. And you could sit down, you could access the menu of go to practice mode and, you know, wait for stuff, or you could just sit there and wait and queue. And then you could have people queue in line at the arcade machine to where if you win, you stay on, and then the person who's on the other cabinet gets kicked off, and then the person who's next in line goes, and that person who just got kicked off goes to the back of the line, and that was how the rotation worked. Kind of like a King of the Hill system, but it was in a virtual lobby, and it had spectator mode and all that stuff. Or if you didn't want to spectate while you were in line, you could open up practice mode and practice while you're waiting for your match to start. And it was really cool, but no one used it because the netcode was so bad, you wouldn't play with randoms. You would only play with people you knew anyway.
Right.
So nobody used the lobby. Now, could you use it as a tournament? Certainly. It would probably go really well to have a lobby where you have arcade cabinets and you can say, on system 8, or find an open setup. And you could literally say it on stream and they could literally find an open setup. And that way you could have people who are co-TOs or bracket managers who could literally just see the results happening live on the stream. That was tech. But you couldn't use it because the netcode was so shit no one would ever do it. That was a huge missed opportunity. You have to admit, online tournaments with that type of system could have been sick. Could have been sick.
They could have been, but
like, oh, this guy just won? Oh, I just saw his character do the victory animation at the arcade cabinet. All right, you won 2-0 or whatever the set may have been. Could have done it. Could have done it. But no. No, couldn't get that. Thanks, Arxis. But anywho, all in all, I'm looking forward to Strive. Like, there's not too many games that I think will be a day one purchase that are coming out. Like, we saw the State of Mid address from Sony today, in which most of it was games we already knew about. And in this case of things that we didn't know about, they weren't that spectacular. It was on the same level as the Nintendo Direct that wasn't too long ago, except replace the new Smash character announcement with the DLC for Final Fantasy VII. Well, I think it's called Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate?
Retrograde or Integrate?
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. Point is you're gonna be able to get some characters that they were hiding behind the good old paywall. If this is free DLC, I'll be shocked. Doubt it, but if it is, I'll be shocked. But it is what it is. As fucked up as it may sound, Sony didn't impress me with anything. There wasn't really anything that I was like looking forward to, but you know,
there's barely anything new. So yeah, it was just like, hey, this game is getting its PS5 like update, right now. Like Crash is getting its PS5 update so that it has enhanced graphics, so you feel like you're playing on the PS5. Final Fantasy VII Remake is getting its PS5 update. Hey, compare the graphics here, guys. See, doesn't this look better? It kind of looks the same. Hey, well, PS5, look at this. The frame rate is better, and it's like, hey, get this. Also, in preparation for the DLC coming out where you get to play as Yuffie. And then it's like, hey, remember that game we announced when we announced the PS5? Here's a little bit more details on that game. What is it? There was that weird Kung Fu game. There was Sifu.
Yeah, Sifu.
Which looked like a roguelike where you just beat people up.
Which I mean, I guess that could be cool, but like it didn't do anything where I like nothing that was announced there moved the ground for me to say I need that.
Right.
There was that one cool game with the adaptive AI where if you die, the whole world changes and like the same enemies will spawn, but they'll spawn in different ways and have different like attacks and like I was like, that's neat.
You talking about Deathloop?
Is that what it's called? It's like it looks like a combination of Destiny and Control.
Yeah, I think that's what you're talking about. The one where you're like, it's like a shooting game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That got announced a while ago too.
Yeah, I
but-
know. That's what I'm saying. Like outside of the DLC Final Fantasy VII Remake, I don't think there was anything in there that we didn't already know was coming to some degree.
Exactly.
We just got more details. So it's like it is what it is. Also, it seems like the DDoS attack has stopped. The one that started earlier today that hit like Facebook Messenger, YouTube, PlayStation Network, Xbox Live, and like it hit random shit like Dead by Daylight, DayZ, FIFA. I don't know. Apparently, Apex Legends was also hit. The Barclays, yes, like the Barclays Center was hit. Dark Souls 3, Blizzard's Battle.net, Black Desert Online. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Let it just be a reminder that the stuff that you think is safe ain't safe. That's the main moral of that story right there. Returnal. That.
Oh, yeah, that was like the first game they announced. Yeah, that game looks pretty. I mean, it looks like it's gonna be good, but like I'll have to wait and see.
So it was not the game that you told me that you thought it was. Deathloop. No, not that. Returnal. There we go. Thank you, chat. I was about to look up Deathloop and be disappointed. Like, this ain't the fuck I was looking at.
No, Deathloop is another game that they're pushing out there. It's like, this is gonna be a really good game, guys. Don't sleep on this.
Yeah, but Returnal looks like a game that I will stream at some point. I hope it's good. That's all I can really say is I hope it's good. Unfortunately, it's a PS5 exclusive, which means I'll probably have to get a PS5. Now, if it's on PC, I'll be super hyped because I don't have to buy a PS5 anytime soon. But you know how these companies are. Like, remember Demon Souls? Remember how that was going to be on PC, and they're like, "Nope, it's not going to be on PC." Nope.
They're like, "What? Well, you weren't supposed to announce that. We're not sure. Actually, it's not coming. Like, get that out of there."
And it's like, I don't want to be holding that giant L. But then at the same time, how many times have we heard PlayStation 4 exclusive and then Horizon Zero Dawn's on PC? So it's like, do we really know? Do we really know? The answer is no.
Is anything really exclusive these days?
Hell no. But I think that's where we're going to end it tonight, guys. The Guilty Gear Strive beta is something we're definitely looking forward to, because I'm sure there'll be at least one more beta before official release. Actually, do we have a release date? Is it this year? Is it quarter?
Yeah, it's April.
Shit. It's April.
It's coming out soon.
Oh, well, never mind. We will probably not have another beta, guys. I lied.
Yeah, we're definitely not having another beta, but it's coming out soon.
All right. I will see you all in April, ladies and gentlemen, when Guilty Gear Strive launches. But I was recently thinking about getting back into Dragon Ball Fighters, but at the same time, every time I get to the title screen, I look at it and I see the
All right, it's off.
You're not lying. That's exactly how it goes. I get there and I go, look, bro, if you play ranked, you're just going to run into the same 5 characters. Broly, Z, UI Goku, one of the blue-haired fusions, and maybe, if you're lucky, you'll run into the 5th character, which is insert a Gohan here.
Nah, you also forgot 21 now.
Yeah, but I don't see that much of 21. I'm not saying that, like I'm not arguing that these characters are necessarily top tier. That's not what I'm arguing. Yeah, I'm arguing the characters that you see all the time in online ranked matches. And they only play like the same pool of 8 characters. It's both Gohans, both Brolys, UI Goku, Gogeta, Vegito, and fuck, I said his name earlier. I don't forgot now.
What? You talking about Gohan?
Yeah. No, I said both Gohans, both Brolys,
Bro,
both
UI.
blue-haired fusions, UI Goku, and I'm missing one. And I said it earlier, and now I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Are you sure you said
Base
it? Because,
Goku.
oh, okay. I was like, I don't think you said base Goku before.
But like the majority of the roster, I do not see too often. But I always see these other chuckle fucks every fucking match. And it just gets to a point to where it's like, fuck it. I don't care. I don't care to play this anymore. It gets too repetitive. Like when I'm playing MK11, like do not get me wrong. I'm not saying that game can't be repetitive. But when I'm playing like a couple hour session of ranked, I run into like half the roster. I fight collector players. I fight Sonya players. I fight Cassies. I fight Johnnies. I fight Scorpions. I fight Sub-Zeros. I fight Scarlets. Look at my YouTube channel. The past 2 of the past 4 videos, I fought a collector.
I mean, collector makes sense.
These
but
players are out here. Yeah. Trey plays Sonya. Now that may make sense because he's always played Sonya, but the point is, there's Sonyas out there. I've seen them. The only characters I can say I've run into too much, Sindel. I hate that lady.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All it is scream crushing blow into bullshit into fatal blow, and it's like, I'm so good at the game, yeah! And it's like, no, you're not. You're not. Stop it. Stop it. I don't see Melina players, even though all these people begged, got on bended knee, and asked for this character. I don't see her too much. It's exactly what I predicted. But anyways, that's neither here nor there.
Hey, man. Whoa. She's going to be in the next game, too, because we like Melina, all right?
Speak for yourself.
There's just something about that face.
All right, listen here, Buckaroo. Until Melina opens up an OnlyFans, I don't think we need to be writing lines like...
Nah, man. Nah, because there are people who have already done that for her, and nah, I'm good. Stop it. All y'all, just stop it.
Look, man, from what I've been told, the heathens have won already. The heathens have won, which is why that combat MK Supergirls or Ultra Girls got canceled. Which I don't know. Yeah, they were making another MK Kids show, but apparently it got canceled because Warner Brothers didn't want it. It's going to be in a similar vein as the DC Superhero Girls or whatever that show's called. And yeah, let's just say that the target demographic for the MK fan base would have actually gotten something that they deserved. Because how childish I see some of these people acting on Twitter who are part of the scene for that game, that's the show you deserve. But anyways, this is going to wrap it up for the Clout.WAV experience this week, which I think is episode 22.
Your guess is as good as mine.
If it's not episode 22, I'll make it episode 22. But anywho, y'all be safe. Have a good set of games and an even better day. Is there anything you want to close us out on, my good sir?
The internet was a mistake.
Oh, always. Always. What else we got?
Also, trust no one, and fighting games are cool. And if you want to play me, if you want to get these hands in Marvel, just let me know.
Marvel specifically, huh?
Marvel specifically, of course, man. I don't play MK anymore. Like,
my man said, not anymore. Also, can we talk about, like, I saw a tweet just now, and I wasn't going to talk about it on the podcast, but I just wanted to just say it in, like, you want proof the internet was a mistake? There's apparently a whole genre of videos called, and I quote, "Getting ready for a dick appointment." And it's exactly what you think it is. It is literally what you think it is. You know what? I'm gonna just let y'all have that. And some of these people
they have ideas,
and their whole channel is based on if you want to suck his penis, here's what you should do. You know what? God bless them. God bless them. God bless them.
The bag comes in many forms, in many ways. So
And just don't fumble it, you know? Just don't fumble it. You know what I'm saying? Just don't fumble it. You know what I'm saying?
but all right, yeah. Before we prattle on too much, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow us on our platforms. Don't forget to follow my Twitter. Don't forget to follow my YouTube page. Don't forget to watch my videos on my YouTube page. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch because I stream on there. No More Heroes 2 coming soon. Don't forget to follow. I mean, if you're not following Kizrinth on all of his platforms right now, you should definitely do that because he's got all the content all the time. The man is made for it. So don't forget to follow us and always support our shit.
Yeah, man. Support those who support you. And y'all have
That's
more
right.
content coming along the way. Also, yeah, just be safe out there, everybody. The pandemic's not over. And we will see you next time.